Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. This is a timeless message. We're going to check what the energy looks like for next day intention setting. And what the energy looks like here is that you have done a tremendous amount of healing, especially over the last several weeks. And we've been seeing this time and time again. And oftentimes, when we're going through the healing process, we can find ourselves pin up with our words. We can find ourselves pin up on things that are running through our mind that we can't really put words to. And what you need to look for are those words to express yourself, because it's really important to get that out, however that looks. And a lot of times, what I find that helps tremendously is journaling. It doesn't always have to be that these things need to be said to individuals, right? Not everybody is willing to hear you out. Not everybody is going to be receptive into accepting what it is that you believe and think, because their mind is so focused on their own narrative that they're not really willing to expand themselves to accept anything other than what is running in their narrative, in their mind, in their box of what they fit you into. So you need to find a way to outlet that, and that might be a stressor point when you approach tomorrow. And this is a timeless message. So whenever you watch this, when you're setting your intentions for the next day, consider these things. And not everything will resonate with you. So what doesn't, you just leave it behind. When you don't have the ability to express your words in some way, this can cause an immense amount of anxiety in your life. The amount of pressure that comes on you, because you feel like you're not being heard. You feel like you're not being seen. And when this happens, it adds such an immense amount of pressure, and it makes you feel like you're just not gaining any traction in progressing forward. So, what helps a lot of times is if you find a different way to get those words out, to get those thoughts out. And journaling is one of those things that come to mind. Now, for myself, because I've spent so many years typing and everything, it's hard for me to sit and write for long durations of time, even for typing. So I utilize video journaling. And for me, that has worked out really well, because not only am I able to capture the words, I'm able to capture my expressions, my emotions, um, you can feel me through the video. And I find it really helpful when I go back and watch them. It adds a depth of emotion to it. And you can also find this in journaling your words as well. It doesn't even have to just be video, right? You can feel emotion through people's words. And going back and reading those words and going back and watching those video journals, however it is you choose to get those words out and express yourself, it really does help you navigate the emotional stall that you can feel in your life, that you feel that you're just stuck. And your life is shifting in a major way. There are a lot of opportunities coming your way. And through these shifts, it can be a little bit frustrating when you're not feeling like you're being heard or seen. So, what you need to do is find an outlet for that. So, if you find yourself feeling that tomorrow, know that you set those intentions down to pull that journal out, to put up that video camera or set up your phone to be able to then journal, or to open up your notebook or your computer and journal these words out. Express yourself. When you're able to outlet these words and put these things down, you are able to remove it from yourself, remove it from your mind. And it doesn't mean that you forget these things. What it means is that you're releasing them. And releasing them is part of the process of allowing yourself to go through this shift. Because as we're going through, and if you're watching this when it's posted, we're going through, we just left the Cancer Mercury retrograde period, which was intense. We're now entering the Lion's Gate, which comes with a lot of energy, a lot of fast moving, a lot of uh, action, right? So there is a lot of conflicting type feelings that are going on with you. You feel like you're kind of in a stall, but you want to move forward. And to be able to get over and get into this shift that you're going through, it's a time to release those things. Evaluate what it is that's holding you pinned up. And once you get through that shift, you're going to be able to see that there's so many opportunities that are really ahead of you coming in your direction. And when we look at the neuro linguistics card that came out, we can see here that we have contrastive contractive analysis. All right, so we're going to go ahead and read this. And this allows you to compare two states, uncovering what makes one more resourceful than the other. For example, if you're confident speaking to friends but freeze in meetings, observe the difference in posture, tone, and focus. Once you understand the structure of success, you can replicate it. And again, this can really come down to you being able to express those words down, to see things in a different perspective, to really look at how you can optimize how you communicate and how you need to release that information. Because whatever it is that's keeping you pinned up, you need to release it. And then we had angel number 557, and this is expansive thought. And this is a really good one as well when we come to how we're looking at the energy for the next day. And let's read this one. It says, consider a new perspective. A simple change in perspective will shed light on the situation before you. Open your mind to hearing and seeing new interpretations of what you are currently dealing with. Your angels will work through curiosity, inspiration, and even other people to relay their messages. Write down all the inspired thoughts in this moment, no matter how insequential you may think they are. And again, when you're feeling that pent up feeling and trying to express yourself, consider a new perspective. Maybe consider a different way of going about it. Maybe you need to do something physical to outlet whatever needs to be released. And, sometimes those words can come out in different ways of us expressing ourselves through art, through action. So maybe it's time to look at a new perspective, have that expansive thought, and really consider that, a different perspective is shed that light on the situation that you're in. Maybe you just need to look at things a little differently. And then we had the word activation for the word of the day with dealing with the energy. And I love this word because it's to light a fire in your soul, to thaw your heart. The hibernation period is over. It's time for you to kind of express yourself, not even kind of, really express yourself. Get out there and put those words into action, put those thoughts into action. You are called to reignite the spark of creation that glows like an ember in your spirit, to act like you mean it. When you express those words, when you're putting those thoughts down, mean what you're saying, get it out, release it, get a move on. Excitement at its core of your being. This is so much deeper than anticipation or enthusiasm. You are a new person in this moment. I mean, this shift that you're going through right now, everything that you've been dealing with, thinking about, releasing, expressing, you're a new person. This shift is changing you, and you're in the process of this change. Remember who you were before they got you down. Don't forget who you were, because when you're able to compare who you were to who you are, that's when you really see the shift that's happening in your life right now. You are making huge moves in your life. You are changing the course, the direction of where everything is going in your life. Exposed and vulnerable, a state of healing. When you open your heart to be examined, it is going to feel sensitive. And when you're expressing those words, you may feel deep levels of emotion, regret. You might feel tense, anxious, but that's okay because it's a level of vulnerability. You're examining your heart space. It's going to feel sensitive. This is a moment to clear away all that junk that's jamming up your gears. When your gears are jammed, the shift is more difficult. And you've done all this work and you're shifting, you're moving things, you're changing things. It's okay to clear away that junk because it's jamming those gears. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first, but time will heal it. It will. Trust me when I tell you that. Time will heal it. And remember, Everything is on divine time. Not everything's going to happen when you want it to happen. You might want to feel better instantaneously when you put those words down or you speak in that video and release those things. But it might be a process for you. You might have to shed some tears. You might have to feel some intense emotions, but it's going to happen in time, and that's in divine timing. And in preparation for tomorrow, ask yourself these questions. What has been holding you back? How are you going to move forward on the right foot? What fuel is feeding your desire to act with haste? So, when you approach tomorrow and you're sitting today reflecting what potentially could come in front of you, set those intentions so that you're able to have yourself set up in a way that you're successful, because you have been through a lot, you have achieved a lot, and you have gone a long distance in your healing. And there's no looking back because this shift is happening. This battle needs to be released. Stop holding on to it. It doesn't mean you forget what happened, but you need to release the tension that's holding you and binding you and stiffening up your gears, because the gears need to move. They need to be oiled. They need to go forward. They need to progress, because as you move forward, that change happens and the light gets brighter and you start to see the blessings and reap the rewards of letting those gears move smoothly and being able to forge forward in your path, in your life. You didn't invest all this time to sit in a stall. No, you did not. You invested all this energy, all this time healing yourself, doing intensive therapy, diving into the darkest corners of your mind, seeping in those emotions and feeling every impact because you wanted to move forward. You knew you were worthy of that you deserved that in your life. So put your gears in motion, set those intentions so that tomorrow, should you come across these types of situations and feelings, that you have a game plan. You got that journal open, your computer open so you can start typing, your video camera set up so you can start journaling how it is that you're feeling in the moment. And I'm going to tell you, everyone, you are worthy. You are worthy of having the joy and happiness in your life. Release. Release what no longer suits you, that no longer works in your life. Do not let it control you. You are the one in control of your life and your destiny. Be free. All right, everyone. I wish you a lot of luck for the next day and blessings.